Hello and welcome to CX Today. My name is Charlie, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Robert Ansell, the Solutions Sales Director at Cirrus Response. Robert, thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Morning, Charlie. Thank you for having me. Yeah, very good. Very busy at the moment, so I'm glad to get some time to let you know all the things that are going on in our world.
As you say, I shouldn't take too long this conversation, but it's great to just get a little update about everything going on at Cirrus Response as part of this CX Big Update series. And I think probably the best place to start this conversation is for anybody who hasn't come across Cirrus Response before. Just wondered if you could give us a little bit of an intro about the company.
Yeah, definitely. So Cirrus has been around for about 10 plus years now. We're a contact centre only player, so we don't do unified comms, we don't do network, and we lead from the channel, so we don't do direct business. That's where we started. We moved into a channel only focus. So we do everything when everyone talks about Omni, so we do voice, we do all the digital channels, SMS, web chat, WhatsApp, video call, and so on. And we allow our customers to utilise that in the space that they need. So instead of going technology first, we're going business opportunity first. So what drives the requirement for technology and make sure that it aligns with them. So we're very passionate about being that consultative arm of the contact centre world. We know the technology works, it's about utilising it in the right space.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that consultancy arm, as you put it, is becoming more and more kind of critical with a lot of the confusion with how these technologies are all converging, as you put kind of the UCaaS there was a good example that you gave. So I think that's a really good intro, and it'll be interesting to find out now maybe a little bit about which of your products are currently resonating with your customers and why you think that is.
Yeah, so it's an interesting one because obviously voice is king still. Everyone still wants to call in and complain or get the response quicker. But a lot of the businesses are understanding the deflection into digital works very well for themselves and the consumer. So for them, if they move into web chat, SMS, WhatsApp, they're sort of three key areas that people are beginning to build up on and realise that they can handle 5 of those interactions versus a single phone call. But with our platform, they can do the phone call plus the 5 interactions as an example. Right? They can scale that how they like. So that's working really well for them. That's helping them reduce abandoned calls, bring up their CSATs and so on. But what's really kind of resonating is knowledge. Right? So they're going, it's great to apply technology like that, as we were talking around, but what's the business driver? So they really like our conversational analytics approach. And what that essentially is doing is allowing the phone calls and digital interactions to be reviewed, scored based on their parameters, and even do things like keyword searches and emotional detection. So are they saying certain things with their voice? Are they shouting? Are they quiet? And that's working really well for them because it's making strong business cases for why the technology could either save them money, let them do more with less, but also be compliant. So there's a lot of compliance issues that the customers are concerned about now. They have to review X amount of phone calls, they have to be careful with their PCI element, and that knowledge of the analytics is helping them understand where those pitfalls are, and then we're able to bolster them with the technology that we've talked about at the beginning, like those digital arenas, but they're prepared for it versus they put it in and then suddenly go, we have another problem. Knowledge seems to be more of the resonating products that they're after versus just straight additional channels. They know that we have that, but again, we're consultatively helping them understand how they could utilise that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one capability that I'll add, which I know that Cirrus has within that conversational analytics portfolio that you talked about, was obviously the intent engine as well. And I know you're doing a lot of work around that and bringing generative AI into to that too, and that's obviously incredibly helpful. So businesses can target their main contact drivers, look for opportunities for automation to fix problems upstream and things. And now I've kind of mentioned generative AI. Of course, I have. How can I have one of these conversations without it? I imagine that is very much on your product roadmap at Cirrus. But could you maybe tell us a little bit more about that, or maybe any other kind of products that you have on your roadmap, and how do you hope this will benefit your customers?
Yeah, so again, we're quite lucky or fortunate that we've got the right business model, that a lot of the roadmap is kind of solidified already, right, in the sense of the reach. Where do we want to be able to promote those channels, as we've discussed? And now the roadmap's really about that knowledge element, as you say, bringing that generative AI and get that out on a Monday morning. And what that's meaning is, so analytics, it works and it's great, but applying more artificial intelligence in there to do more with less and understanding is really, really powerful. Same with our workforce optimization. We understand people are doing lots of manual work, there's lots of human error potentially, and then the AI that we're applying into that is stronger, faster and meaner, right? So again, they can trust that it's working and it's pulling from useful resources, just like people like ChatGPT and Copilot, etc. And within our media stack, the digital media stack, we've already got ChatGPT integrated. That's our initial part of the roadmap, so that's done. It will formulate a bunch of the conversation, give strong output, as people would be recognising from ChatGPT as a raw as they use. And then the roadmap is again about defining that and using the right business models. Don't want to bore the ocean of AI. Putting that kind of AI raw into a business is kind of dangerous for people. They're quite understanding and resonating well with that. So we're working with them going, what is it really that you're trying to achieve out of the conversations? Where can the power of ChatGPT really work for you? So that is our drive, that's our roadmap, getting more generative AI into the wider portfolio. As I say, ChatGPT is already there, which is fantastic. We're getting really good uptake with that, but applying it across the other medias and elements like workforce optimization and analytics. So it's not to remove people, right? It's so that people are more focused on what their job is. And I think that's sometimes the fear when you talk about the AI world that we're in. Oh, that will replace my job. Actually, it'll make you more efficient. If you take the analytics, just as a quality manager, the AI can review, score, give guidance, etc. to that QM team. That QM team can then go train. That's a really impactful piece for a business model versus going, that team's getting removed, which is their initial fear. So again, we have to coach them through and maybe get them off the edge sometimes, say it's okay, it's for a good reason.
Yeah, what I will say is that obviously the trust and security element is a big when it comes to this generative AI. Obviously, Cirrus 2 has, because of its analytics, it has extra data redaction capabilities when you use something like auto summarization, which actually makes Cirrus a very well placed vendor for this rise in the CCaaS of generative AI. And I'm sure if I pushed you on that, we could have a conversation that lasted much longer. But I think that's a really great summary of kind of what Cirrus has to come. So I think that's probably a great place to end today's chat. So thank you very much for joining me today, Robert.
No, thank you for having me today. It's been brilliant.
Excellent. And also thank you to everybody for watching. Bye for now.